r/off my chest. Samtimasitsamanki says, please stop trauma dumping about your miscarriage or miscarriages. I'm not saying never talk about it or that your feelings aren't valid. But there's a time and place. We got to hear the heartbeat for the first time. You're lucky. I never got to hear my baby's heartbeat. 8 weeks today. I never made it past 6 weeks. I'm so nauseous. I'd kill to be nauseous, but I lost mine at 5 weeks 3 days. I think it was a girl and her name was going to be X. It's like that Debbie Downer SNL skit. I have enough anxiety about miscarriages. Shut up. Emotional Ask 7190 says, I though you were gonna say about people here venting about it, but OHH this is completely valid. WTF is the same as seeing a kid and her mother on the park and go to tell them my kid died younger than him. Be careful WTF. Samtimasitsamanki says, no. Definitely people out in the wild and people I know. It's exactly like that. I know it's a reality that many face, but read the room. Emotional Ask 7190 says, Yee is the same as going to someone's milling and saying how can you smile. I'm not smiling because someone died and also kids on Africa are starving, like a Odd Riddle says, I know this isn't a one-to-one comparison, but I recently lost my cat, which was pretty traumatic for me. However, I didn't go around informing people that and shutting them down when they were talking about their kitties or getting a new pet. That would have felt super inappropriate to me. Impulsive Puppy says, at least you got to have a cat. I was gonna get one, but then someone else got it first, so I never even got one. r/off my chest. Mistress Amain says, my sister's husband is blackmailing me for my nude pics and videos. I'm a Moroccan woman. I lived almost all my life in Morocco, but I moved with my family to the US 2 years ago. My family is very religious and old school, and I wear my hijab, headscarf and dresses hiding all my body around them. My family live in Pennsylvania and I live now in Tampa, Florida, but I visit a lot. A month ago, my friend and her husband invited me to go out with them, so we went out, and I was wearing a mini dress and shirt without sleeves and a bit open in the chest area. We were sitting at a restaurant talking, smiling, and we seemed very cozy until I saw a person staring at me with a very angry look, and he was my sister's husband. It was one of the scariest moments of my life. I ran and I cried for days knowing my life is over if he tells my family. I waited for days for my sister's husband to tell my family and ruin my life, but he didn't. 2 weeks later he called me and he asked what I was doing with a guy and woman wearing almost nothing. I told him 3 are my friends and we were just hanging out together. He didn't say anything and he started calling me more and telling me we should be good friends. 2 days ago, he asked me to send him nude pics of me. Of course I said no, but he said if I don't do whatever he wants from now, he will tell my family, and he told me he took pics of me with that couple that day. I know for sure, if he tells my family, they will hate me and for SRE disown me. I really don't know what to. Lost Forward says, he has the power to use these images against you no matter what, so do not send him anything. That will just give him more and worse images to use against you. At least now all he has is just the original image or images of you, if he's telling the truth about that. If you send him the nude photos, that will give him even more power here. He will also never stop asking for more if you do send anything to him. Block his number. Tell your sister about this if you feel safe doing so. Cream for Kitty says, tell everyone that he's doing this. This is so much worse than you wearing what you want on a night out. Regitarect96 says, lol, you've never met a conservative Muslim family, have you? Poor op is screwed either way. If she says anything they will still blame her for tempting him by going out and dressing like she did. Tamintha Storm says, don't send him any pics. Would you rather him show your family pics of you with clothes on or off? He will demand more from you. Save the messages he sent you about blackmailing you for nudes and use that against him. Unlucky window 9570 says, don't send him anything. He'll gather that and use those pics against you as well. Is he a man who would understand if you told him how you feel? Tell him that you're not sending him any pics and beg him not to tell your family. He should know too that you'd be disowned. It would ruin you. Maybe you could talk to your sister about it? Is she old school religious as well, or do you think she could see it from your perspective? I think it's such a shame that you have to be so scared and cover up for the sake of your family when clearly that's not what you want to. Off my chest. Struensis says, my family is making my graduation day the loneliest and saddest I could have imagined. Today at 5 PM I graduate from a top 20 school that is the top for my field of study. I'm a first generation college low income, transfer student. To put it bluntly, I've overcome a lot of barriers to be here today. My family is turning this day into the saddest and loneliest day I could have imagined. I'm originally from a blue collar family in Arkansas, and my father in particular doesn't really fit in with these coastal elite, very rich families. To put it directly, he makes a lot of social faux pas such as eating with his hands, putting way too much food in his mouth, talking while chewing, etc. He will also engage in extended conversations with random individuals who are visibly uncomfortable. This is embarrassing for me. I feel really guilty for feeling so embarrassed. Yesterday, I tried to ask him to chew with his mouth closed or take smaller bites. He turned around at the table to face the opposite direction away from the table instead. He then didn't speak to me for the rest of the night at all graduation celebration that was really important to me and went off of me in the middle of it. He will consistently complain about pedestrians and bicyclists when driving, run red lights, and drive distractedly. My school is in a big city. This morning at 7 AM I receive a text about how I'm so patronizing and disrespectful. I hate him. I need to grow up. I use him as a punching bag, and he walks on eggshells. He also told me to just go home with my mom. I'm supposed to drive home with him to with my stuff in the car, while my mom/stepdad are flying home to FL. My mom is sorry for me, but has been kind of standoffish about the situation. Also, none of my family knows the name of my degree, major, or anything about what I've worked so hard for over the last 4 years. My friends are all busy with their own celebrations and now I'm left alone to feel sorry for myself and stress about how I'm moving out / where I will be living after Monday. Thanks for letting me vent to someone. Guelena Apologist says, congratulations on graduating. That's a very big accomplishment and you should be proud. Would you like to share your major on here? We will celebrate with you. Disproportionate reactions to criticism is annoying and immature, especially when parents never hold back when it comes to us and will say what they please and expect their kids to take it lying down. Moochie says, you need to own this and change your attitude. Your family is a bit rough around the edges. When talking to friends and coworkers, bring it up ASAP, make light-hearted jokes about it, and make sure that they understand that you love them anyway. This is the only way. Get past this without making yourself look bad and or feel bad. Your friends and coworkers will pick up on you being embarrassed by your family and think less of you as a result. The end result being that your negative reaction to your family's behavior is worse than your family's behavior. So instead of witnessing your father act embarrassingly and trying to clean up the mess later, treat it as a light-hearted exhibition of your father's lack of situational awareness and joke about it with those whom it affects. If you approach it as a now you know my pain kind of gentle joke and commiserate with them after the fact, they will think higher of you for obviously loving your clumsy inept family. Edit. Congrats for graduating. I wish you all the health and happiness you deserve for all your hard work. Off my chest. Mrsbunbun says, my husband is leaving. In January my husband, 35, and I, 30, together 6 years, decided it was time for a divorce. There were many reasons. But all that really matters is we no longer loved each other. I felt relief, and I think he did too. There are no children or major assets to divide. The only complication was that he would be immigrating back to his home country and our self-employment together would end. He stayed until I found a basic job and settled into it. We both cried plenty in January. Then it became easier. He took charge of all the housework and cooking, I think mostly out of guilt, but it helped a lot as my new job has been physically demanding. My family, as expected, had little to say on the matter and offered no warm words. I have told some friends but none of them can relate, though I don't know what you can say to someone in my shoes anyway. He leaves in the morning. He came up to my home office to say goodbye a couple hours ago, had obviously been crying. I was totally frozen. I couldn't stand up or speak, I just sat at my desk and stared at him. Since then I've not been able to stop crying. I don't know what I'm feeling. I'm not sad or angry, I think I'm honestly happy it's ending, and I don't want him to stay, but I can't stop crying. If I get to sleep, he will be gone once I wake. Woolgerl says, what you thought your life was going to be, that dream is gone. You are mourning the loss of that dream. The tears are healthy, and letting the sadness take over. You both are mature in your handling of this. You will start to feel independent again soon. Wishing you both a lovely life. L0op says, frick, that hit way too close to home. March Madnessism says, even if the love is gone, you're probably both mourning. 6 years is a long time, and mourning the loss of a relationship is okay. I wish the best for both of you. Captain Twitchy 36 says, almost 25 years into mine, and I think we are at this point. Not sure what to make of it. Chunkit from Thessuncombe says, remember year 1. Shadith says, 21 years and I finally had to throw in the towel. Addiction 1 and I can't take it any longer. My heart is breaking even as I push forward. No loss of love, just a loss of everything else that a relationship needs. I wish you the best. Can I just say says, grieve the relationship you had and the potential it could have been. Then draw a line in the sand for before and now. This is a new chapter you are moving into, but you can't switch off your past in a handshake or a hug. Change can be scary, but you know you're both doing the right thing for each other and for yourselves. There is no guidebook for how to feel, you feel what you feel. That's all for this video, thank you for watching, please subscribe.